Good evening, friends. We've had a lot of questions come up regarding our latest tales of intrigue involving those darling little rogues of yours. And while we pride ourselves on being the masters of the House of Mystery, we can no longer stand to watch you meander blindly through the darkness like the pitiful humans that you are. So welcome to Holding Your Hand, a guide for the horribly confused and detestably ignorant, with Cain
and Abel.
Now it's perfectly all right to admit that perhaps you missed some of the incredibly subtle hints we left for you. For example, Abel joking that for some reason everyone was able to put aside their petty grievances and come together for a night. That was all thanks to cursed invitations and a modicum of teleportation. I mean, George should have still been tied naked to a tree in the bayou, and I highly doubt that our Mr. Tetch could ever get out on a day pass. What we didn't expect was that our meddling with magical manipulation would bring about the insufferable John Constantine. But we'll come back to him in a moment. Now, getting everyone to play nice took a certain degree of memory erasure, but we feel that we filled in all the necessary gaps in the rogues' personalities. Some of it we had to pull from old case files, the occasional tabloid and newspaper.
An embarrassing amount of fan fiction.
Shut up, Abby. True, they were more caricatures of themselves, but it was the general nature of the beast that we strove for, and I think we accomplished that.
Except Harvey never flipped his coin.
Yes, well...
And Jonathan had far too much compassion for humanity.
Abby...
And Harley wouldn't have gotten over Joker, so...
The theme of this event was circles. As Abel had said in the second episode, we were coming back from the second ring of hell. We then proceeded to kill George Harkness, who in the previous episode had made reference to Mother Teresa's map of Tasmania, a charming little bit of slang, if you'd like to Google it. Lustful little beast. In the next episode, Selena stole Oswald's steak and in her haste to eat it, choked to death.
How gluttonous.
The fourth episode, Waylon and Harvey fought over a gun.
Greedy little boys.
The fifth, John sent Jervis to his death at the hands of Dr. Quinzel.
Shouldn't have made him angry.
The sixth episode saw Oswald getting his feathers thoroughly ruffled by Edward.
The man who blasphemes at the drop of a hat. I dub him heretic.
Seventh, only one person in the group had knowingly killed another person besides Oswald.
And us.
Yes, and that was Harley. So it made sense to pair the two. Do I need to continue?
Probably should.
John was the liar's choice, and Edward was the treacherous choice. You should all give yourselves a pat on the back. You picked every right answer along the way. It was a remarkable example of failing upwards. Getting the right answer with no knowledge of the formula. You voted for the glutton. You voted for the man with two of everything. You sussed out the angry man. You spotted the heretic. You chose violence. You knew the liar. And you knew where treachery lay. Bravo.
They did get one wrong.
Yes, that's true. You sent a man with a joy buzzer on his hand to fix the electric. But in all honesty, we knew you would. You were delightfully predictable in that regard. You'd never vote for your beloved Mr. Jones, even when you didn't know the outcome. You just couldn't pick sweet, loving Waylon. Which is a shame, because if you had picked him, the event would have ended there.
Dun 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 dun.
But what's done is done. And the circle would have continued still, had that bastard Constantine not showed up. The rogues would have survived only to play our little game over and over again until either time stopped or we grew tired of the situation. But now the circle has been broken. The rogues will go drinking elsewhere, and at the striking of midnight they will return from whence they came, unaware that this story had ever unfolded.
It was jolly fun to see the doctors at work, though, eh?
Oh my, yes. The hard part was pretending not to recognize the crew, but tuck in their wings, give them a slap of flesh-colored paint, and no one would ever know. I mean, how else do you have the power to interview for a situation that's currently happening? Well, we hope this clears up any questions you may have had, and if you'll excuse us, we must prepare for our next little adventure. Say goodnight, Abby.
Good night, Abby.
Gods, I fucking hate you. Good night.